Have you ever stopped and really thought about this? Why a gigantic metal ship can float on the ocean, but a tiny little metal coin sinks right to the bottom? It just doesn't seem to make sense, right? Well, today, we're going to solve that mystery. I mean, seriously, picture it. A colossal cruise ship, basically a floating city made of steel, just gliding along. And then you toss in a small coin, a tiny piece of metal, and poof, it's gone, sinks without a second thought. It feels like it should be the other way around. It's like some kind of magic trick, but I promise you, it's not. It's science. And by the time we're done here, you're going to know the single, simple secret behind it. So to crack this case, we need to act like detectives. We need to gather some clues. So I've put together a little experiment I'm calling the Sink or Float Challenge. I've got a few everyday objects, and we're just going to see what happens. Let's see what secrets they're hiding. Okay, first up, a regular old plastic spoon. Nothing fancy. Before I drop it in the water, make your call. What do you think? Is it going to sink or is it going to float? And it floats. Okay, no big surprise there. That's probably what you expected. But don't get too comfortable because the plot is about to thicken. All right, next up, a metal spoon. Now here's the key. It's the same size, same shape as the plastic one. The only difference is the material. So, does that change anything? What's your guess this time? And down it goes. Straight to the bottom, no hesitation. Okay, hold on. We've got two spoons, exact same size, but with totally different results. So this tells us size isn't the whole story. Not by a long shot. Our mystery is getting deeper. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's try an unopened can of soda. It's sealed, it's full of liquid, made of aluminum. What's your prediction for this one? It sinks. Okay, another clue for our investigation. Now you might be thinking, aha, metal things sink. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For our final piece of evidence, let's try something totally different. Something from nature. An orange or an apple. I mean, you hold it in your hand, it feels pretty solid, right? It's got some real weight to it. So what's it going to be? Would you look at that? It floats. And just like that, any simple theory we had is completely out the window. A heavy fruit floats, but a can of soda sinks? It's clear that simple rules like heavy things sink just don't work. We need something better. All right, we've got our clues, and frankly, they seem to contradict each other, right? But it's time to put it all together. It's time to unlock the secret, and believe it or not, the answer to this entire puzzle comes down to just one single word. So let's just lay out the puzzle one more time. Why does a metal spoon sink when a plastic one of the same size floats? Why does a solid piece of fruit float when a can full of liquid sinks? We know it's not just about weight, and it's not just about size. So what is it? The answer is density. That's it. This one idea is the master key that explains everything we've just seen, from the coin all the way up to that cruise ship. So what in the world is density? Well, it sounds kind of technical, but the idea is actually super simple. Everything, and I mean everything, you, me, the water, the spoon, is made of tiny little particles, like atoms and molecules. Density is just a way of talking about how much stuff, how many of those particles, are crammed into a certain amount of space. Are they packed together like sardines in a can, or are they spread out with lots of room to breathe? And that leads us to the one golden rule you need to know. It's a battle, really. If an object is less dense than water, the water can easily win and push it up, so it floats. But if an object is more dense than water, it's just too packed with stuff. It wins the battle against the water's push, and it sinks. That's it. That's the whole secret. Now that we have our secret weapon, this idea of density, let's go back to our sink or float challenge and see how it makes everything finally click into place. So check this out. It all makes perfect sense now. The plastic spoon floated because it's less dense than water. The metal spoons sink because it's more dense. The soda can, more dense. And the fruit, you guessed it, less dense than water. See? It works every single time. And if you look a little closer, you see exactly why. In the metal spoon, the particles are packed in there super tight, making it really dense. In the plastic spoon, they're much more spread out. And the fruit, this is the really cool part, it's filled with thousands of tiny little air pockets. That dramatically lowers its overall density. It all comes down to how the particles are arranged. So what's the big takeaway? Well, this is way more than just a fun party trick. Once you understand density, you get this new lens to see the whole world.
It explains everything from why a hot air balloon rises in the sky to why the oil and vinegar in your salad dressing always separate.
And this is the one thing I really want you to remember. Forget everything else you thought you knew. It is not about how big something is or how heavy it is. It is always, always, always about density. And that giant ship, it floats because its huge, hollow shape means its overall density is actually less than water. It's a brilliant density trick on a massive scale. That's really the beauty of science, isn't it? It's not just a collection of facts you have to memorize. It's a way of looking at the world. It's about taking something that seems like pure magic and turning it into pure understanding.
So I'll leave you with a question. Now that you have the key, now that you understand the secret of density, what are you going to see differently? An ice cube floating in your glass? A big log floating down a river? A helium balloon trying to pull away from your hand? The world is just filled with these amazing density puzzles, and now you know how to solve them.